Hello YouTube. I'm gonna try something new here. On this channel, I just want to talk about the crypto news of the day, give my opinion about some news that caught my attention, just talk about the stuff that's going on, and then I'll just see how it goes. This is my first attempt doing a video like this, so I'm sorry if I'm not if I'm not that perfect, if I'm a bit nervous, because I am quite nervous right now. A tiny bit about me. I've been in the crypto markets for about 5 years now. A bit more than 5 years. I first got interested the first time Bitcoin went over $1,000. And I have been with the markets, holding a bunch of different coins, trading in them since then. I have more or less kept up with the news, but I am only now starting to properly closely keep up with them, to read all the major websites every day. And I'm just going to take you guys along with my journey. So today I want to talk about the only thing that's on everyone's mind, the thing that makes everyone go crazy right now, the prices just falling and falling and falling. And I'm sure I don't have to show you the CoinMarketCap page, but prices are down. And in the last couple of days, they actually hit a 2018 low for the entire market. That is the first article I have open here. Let's take a look at this together. The crypto markets are under 200 billion total value. This is not just Bitcoin, this is the total value of the market for the first time in 2018. This is the lowest since the last bull run we had, and it looks pretty scary. I'm not sure it's quite as scary as some of us make it out to be. Like here, we have the screenshot from CoinMarketCap. It's not looking great. Here, first time under 200 billion, all the way down to 189 billion on Tuesday, which last time we saw that was in November 2017, which was in the middle of the bull market. The bull market started a bit lower. I don't know the exact numbers anymore, but that was definitely after the bull market had been going for a while already. And the really interesting thing here is that all the altcoins are falling so much more than Bitcoin. I'm pretty sure this article also mentions it. The Bitcoin dominance continues to rise, and Bitcoin now has over 50% dominance of the market. That means that right now, out of the just about 200 billion, yeah, not million. Sorry, I'm German, and we have different terms for that. Sometimes I get messed up. Out of the 200 billion market, almost 200 billion market, almost 100 billion. Actually, at the time of the screenshot, it was 102 billion, just about 103 billion. It's just Bitcoin. That is very unusual, but we've seen it before. That shows us something very interesting. It shows us that people don't really trust altcoins right now, that everyone is selling off their altcoins and they're putting that money into Bitcoin. But confidence in Bitcoin itself is also waning because we see those prices going down as well. But in general, it's a sign that people are more confident in Bitcoin than in altcoins right now. And this kind of makes sense, because after months of the prices slowly but surely going down, a lot of people who got into the markets and were expecting quick money and were expecting the prices to continue going down like they did going up like they did last year, all those people now see these prices going down and down and down and down, and they're looking for the safest option in the market. And a lot of people are also pulling out of the market completely. But the people who are staying in, a lot of them are looking for the safest option. And right now, and just because it's so well established and the market leader and has been around for so long, that is Bitcoin. So a lot of stuff is being sold off and going into Bitcoin. Let's look at the next article I have here. It's a bit more of the same. Just another article giving more or less the same facts. It just has more details about some other coins, like Ripple. Ripple at a yearly low at 26 cents. If you remember, in the last year, Ripple almost hit $4. Oh, actually $3.47. I thought it was $3.80, but $3.47. That is still over $3, and now it's at under 10% of that price, which, ooh, that's painful. That is painful, because for a while it looked like Ripple was just going to continue growing and was going to outpace Ethereum. That did not happen. If you see the market cap here, Ethereum right now 26 billion, Ripple 10 billion. They were very close together for a time a couple months ago. But Ripple has fallen a lot more, which is really, really odd, because there just have been a ton of good news about Ripple. I don't know if this article mentions it. There has been, just in the last week or so, a partnership with Madonna, who is using Ripple, I think, for her Malawi foundation. Don't quote me on that. But I think she has a foundation looking out for kids in Malawi, because she's also adopted kids from there, and I think she's using Ripple for that. Then a conference featuring Bill Clinton as the keynote speaker, and it looks more and more likely that Coinbase will list Ripple. And still, the price is going down. It's hard to understand when you're just quickly looking at it, but I think this is just a general thing with the entire market. People don't have confidence. Too many people got into the market expecting prices to just shoot to the moon instantly, and now that that isn't happening, they become more and more uneasy and start pulling out, and if they don't pull out completely, they just put everything into Bitcoin instead. Which, not nice, but I do think that we're going to see this bear market, that we're going to see it break at some point. I do think it has to bottom out first, though. I have some price predictions open as well in these other tabs from CoinDesk and from Cointelegraph. And I can't predict prices. Let me just say this outright. I'm not professional. I don't know the mathematical models. But I do feel that after years of looking at the movements, and I also do have some experience with stocks and bonds, that after years of looking at those movements, you can have a general idea where the market might go. And these analysts that I don't actually know how professional they are, but they are writing for these major outlets about price analysis. So I assume they're more knowledgeable than me. So let's look at their predictions right here. This is for the near future, not for the long-term future. But they are, this guy, Omkar Gotbol, I hope I didn't mispronounce it, I'm so sorry if I did. But yeah, he's giving us a little rundown of what happened with Bitcoin. It was at $20,000, now it's at $5,755, or about to get there. Didn't go over the trendline hurdle, which you can all see in this this graphic here. Oh, I can't make it bigger. But yeah, he is predicting that it will continue going down a bit. Where exactly is it? Hey, Bitcoin could hit fresh yearly lows below 5,755 this week, which was the low that we saw in June. Before the price, we can see it here. In June, it went quite a bit down, but then the price recovered a bit. But we see this exact same movement happen. So what I think is going to happen is this will continue for a while until we reach a breaking point and people become confident enough in the market again that the prices will explode in a similar way that we've seen before. That is what I think will happen just from looking at this movement. But then also that is what the analysts with their fancy systems that I don't understand and their numbers say. Like you can see the trend lines here, and it will probably then hit about here before going back up again and going a bit lower before. So they do say here in the view, Bitcoin could drop to a lower low than we've seen in June, which would be the yearly low. And then it could support slightly lower than that. But it would also be theoretically possible that it could go a bit up and could go into a short-term bullish trend. It would turn bullish if prices break above the July high of 8,507. Ooh. I mean, right now it's not looking like it, but if this trend continues, who knows? But in general, the outlook seems to be it's going down a bit further, and we have to prepare for this bear market continuing for a while. And this is pretty much what this website also says. I'm not going to try to pronounce the name. I'm so sorry. I don't want to mess it up. I do not want to mess it up, so I'm just not going to do it. Unlike the article just now, this is looking at price predictions for major coins, not just Bitcoin. And more or less they're all saying the same thing, except Litecoin looks way more negative. Oh my god. But yeah, we can also see here, there's a little introduction about the situation in Turkey right now. If you're not aware, Turkey is facing a bit of a financial crisis right now, with the US sanctioning Turkey and the value of the Turkish, I think it's pronounced lira, going down significantly. And Turkey right now is pretty much the only place where Bitcoin is actually raising in value because so many people who are scared about their national currency losing in value are going into Bitcoin. And this is some of the beauty of cryptocurrencies. This should give us hope because when your national currency fails, which is what we see in financial crises or crises, what happens then is you can escape into this alternative non-local currency that is not tied to any one government. And right now, Bitcoin is looking more stable than their national, well-established old currency. That is kind of incredible. But despite that, Bitcoin in general going down, we will remain positive as long as it sustains above 5,910, they say, which I believe right now it still is. This article is a few hours old though. Unlike the previous article, they have a more bullish view. But they do think if it falls below that value, that will not happen. Which next couple of days are critical. I will be keeping a lookout for more predictions from this website and others. But I do think, based on the movement of the last couple of months, I mean, you see the movement from January here. It's just one continuous movement. There's every now and then the market catches itself a bit, but it never manages to go higher than the previous high, and it continues falling. I think we're going to see this for a lot longer. But after that, I am 99% confident that the markets will pick up again and that we will see a bull market, hopefully before the end of the year. Who knows when it will happen? I think these things, ultimately, we can have models that make predictions, but ultimately it's unpredictable when major changes will happen. We can only predict what will happen if the current movements continue. So I will not make any definitive statements about that. But here we see similar predictions for the other coins. Yeah, and we see all the price movements. Ripple was hit spectacularly badly. Oh my god. But once again, they're always trying to catch itself. It's always trying, but then it just falls. We see this happen with every major coin. It's almost always the exact same movements. Stellar has been doing a bit better. It recently gained a lot of value, but even that seems to have slowed down, and the trend is looking downward. Yeah, this is what we have to anticipate for the near future. And then last, I have this article here about the idea of HODL. Hold on for dear life. HODL being, most of you know what it is. I'm just gonna explain it anyways. HODL is the idea that you're going to hold on to your coins for a long time and not just instantly sell once the market moves. Like, if you're hodling, you won't sell your coin if it goes up 5%. You're waiting for it to go up thousands of percent. And that's a very strong sentiment in the crypto market. A lot of people are just holding on to their coins. The downside of that being there is not a lot of movement in the markets if a lot of people are just holding on. But now there's a lot of criticism of holding of HODL, and I understand some of them. Like this statement, who is it from? Fred Wilson, New York-based famous venture capitalist. One of the things I've disliked the most about the crypto sector is the idea that people should hodl or hold on for dear life. I've written many times here that one should take profits where they are available and diversify an investment portfolio. The idea that an investor should hold on no matter what has always seemed ridiculous to me. I understand where he's coming from, especially for traditional investments. And for some coins, there's something to be said about holding on and not holding on long term but only short term. But the thing is, for crypto, a lot of us and a lot of people believe in these projects. They think these projects will be something great in the future, that they will have serious impact, that they will change the way we live. And if you feel that way, I'm not sure to which degree I feel like that. About certain coins I kind of do. I will talk about that in another video, surely. Yeah, I see where he's coming from, especially if you're dealing with traditional companies that are already established. The thing is, cryptocurrencies, they're all new. They're not really that established yet. There is so much future potential that if you believe that these coins will become more important, that these projects will be integrated into major services, if you believe, for instance, that Ripple will be used by most major banks at some point, then it makes perfect sense to hold on for dear life. Because then you are convinced that there will be so much movement that they will be used for so many transactions that the value has to go up tenfold, hundredfold. Maybe not 100-fold for coins that have already gone up a lot. But for example, in the case of Ripple, which is at under 30 cents right now, and which we've already seen go over $3, if they can take over a large share of the traditional finance market, of the monetary movement between banks, that price will skyrocket. And if you believe that happens, I say hold on. But if you don't have faith in a project, if you don't think there's a realistic way it can take over, then absolutely don't hold on. And I might make some enemies for this, but like Dogecoin or Doggycoin or however you want to pronounce it, like a lot of people want to hold on to dear life for that, and I can see the price exploding. If the markets go up, they will drag it along. But what I can't see is that coin getting any kind of mainstream success or being integrated into a lot of products. And there, I think you have to overthink your HODL positions. But I don't think you can just outright say that it's a bad idea. It all depends on what kind of investor you are as well. Are you looking for the day-to-day movements in the market? Are you a day trader? Because then obviously you don't want to HODL. Do you think that the markets will crash at some point in the near future? Then obviously you want to sell. You don't want to HODL. But I don't think we should be discounting this idea completely. And even here it shows how many people are pretty much doing it. 73% of Bitcoin users almost never spend it, 82% Ethereum, 89% Litecoin. It means people just keep it in their wallets, they're not trading with it, they're just waiting. And this is also one of the reasons the prices are going down, in my opinion, because so much of the crypto out there is just sitting around, locked up essentially. And one of the things that influences how people evaluate coins and projects like this is how much they're actually used. So as long as people are just hiding it away, they're not selling it, most of them are also not buying anymore, because some of them are waiting for the price to drop even further before they buy. So yeah, I don't think we should discount this idea entirely. I do see how people are now more worried and how people are more critical of that idea now that we've seen the markets going down for such a long, continuous time. But just remember, we have had longer, more painful bear markets. This is not the worst we've seen, and I think at some point in the near future, in the next coming months, the market will look very different. Anyway, I think that's it for this video. This being my very first video, I didn't quite know where I was going with this. I hope you still enjoyed this. Share your opinions with me in the comments, and if you want to see more videos, please do subscribe. I'm going to try to get out at least one video a day where I just talk about the news, talk about the markets, whatever interests me that day, whichever articles I found that day. And thanks a lot for watching. Bye.